Good evening, everybody. Welcome to AIMS India's live session, NEET Foundation Biology for 7th class, Plant Nutrition. The plant nutrition, generally we know that plant nutrition means photosynthesis, but by the end of this video, we can come to one conclusion, that is, plants also undergo different types of nutrition, that is heterotrophic nutrition also. Children, you might have observed in our surroundings different types of plants. For example, you see this leaf. This leaf is completely green in color. Another leaf of another plant. This is somewhat white patches are there on this leaf. What does it indicate? The first one grow in normal places, but where sunlight is more. But whereas the second one which I have shown, which grow in shady places. So the difference we will discuss later. Let us proceed. Are you ready? Let us start. Nutrition in plants. Autotrophic nutrition. What is nutrition? The process of taking in food and utilizing that food for metabolic activities, for different metabolism. Growth and metabolism and repair is called nutrition. Mode of nutrition. Different organisms obtain their nutrients by different methods. The mode of nutrition is the way to obtain the food. On the basis of obtaining and utilizing food, there are two main autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition. One is autotrophic and another one is heterotrophic nutrition. What is autotrophic nutrition? When an organism prepare their own food independently, which does not depend on any other organism, then it is called autotrophic nutrition. And the organism is called autotroph. Organism is called autotroph. So autotrophic mode of nutrition is further divided into two categories. What are they? One is depending upon how that energy is available to that organism to prepare its own food. Based on that, autotrophic mode of nutrition is categorized into two. One is photoautotrophs. Photoautotrophs means which can undergo the nutrition by using sunlight or by undergoing photosynthesis. Example, green plants and green algae or green bacteria, cyanobacteria. And the second one is chemoautotrophs. Chemoautotrophs means these are non-green. They can also synthesize their own food, but depending on the energy produced by the oxidation of some chemicals. Okay, that's why they are called chemosynthetic bacteria, and the process is called chemosynthesis, or they are called chemoautotrophs. So for this autotrophic nutrition, the energy, what is the energy required for photoautotrophs? The energy is sunlight. If sunlight is utilized, then these organisms are called photoautotrophs. Let us proceed how the process takes place. Mode of nutrition, photoautotrophs. Photoautotrophic nutrition takes place. It is the mode of nutrition. The process of formation of food takes place by a process called photosynthesis. So in this process, the organism uses mainly sunlight as a source of energy, along with carbon dioxide and water. These are the main raw materials. In the presence of sunlight, carbon dioxide, water and chlorophyll undergo a photochemical reaction. This is the general equation showing 6CO2 plus 12H2O in the presence of light energy and chlorophyll produce product C6H12O6 plus 6O2 plus 6H2O. During this process, oxygen is released. An organism that follows such mode of nutrition is called photoautotroph, algae, green plants. So let us see in this picture photosynthesis. So here sunlight is the source of energy, water is absorbed through the roots, water is available through the roots, and the sunlight directly falls on the leaves where the chlorophyll is the green pigment which traps the sunlight energy, and in the presence of carbon dioxide, how carbon dioxide is available means the carbon dioxide enters the leaves through stomata, a minute holes which are present beneath the leaves or under surface of the leaf. This carbon dioxide enters into the leaf. So in this chloroplast region, all the raw materials are available. What are the raw materials? The photosynthesis takes place in the presence of sunlight. Water and carbon dioxide undergo photochemical reaction in the chloroplast of green plants, which gives rise to sugar. Sugar is the product of photosynthesis. Along with that, during this process, oxygen is also released. Oxygen is released during this process or gives off into the air. But that sugar, if it is in that glucose form only, then it may be utilized in the leaf itself. So finally, this sugar is converted to starch, the stored food in other parts of the plant. So leaves are called food factories. After the production of food, sugar, it is converted to starch, and that starch is transported to different parts. Here see, in the fruit, tomato, here that starch or other form, it can be stored in the fruit. In some plants, it can be stored in the roots. In some plants, it can be stored in the stem. For example, potato. So photosynthesis is the process by which plants, some bacteria and some protistants. Protistants means, for example, euglena, use the energy from sunlight. So that's why they are called photoautotrophs. Food making process, photosynthesis. So we are entering into the concept photosynthesis. For plants to perform photosynthesis, they require light energy. They require light energy and in the form of sunlight, water, carbon dioxide. These are all the requirements. Water is absorbed from the soil into the cells of root, and from there it is transported to the stem by means of xylem vessels. And carbon dioxide is available from the atmosphere through the minute pores called stomata. Stomata are the structures which helps in the exchange of gases. So this is the process of photosynthesis concept. So the process of photosynthesis here, if you see, sunlight, carbon dioxide and water reach the leaf. Leaf is the site of photosynthesis where the reaction, chemical reaction takes place. and the product sugars are formed and oxygen is released during this process. It is a photochemical reaction. Food making process, photosynthesis. The carbohydrates which are produced in the process of photosynthesis is ultimately converted into starch and stored into leaves. From leaves, it is transported to the parts of the plant. Starch is a type of carbohydrate and then it is stored in different parts of the plant. The oxygen produced is released into the atmosphere through stomata. Stomata plays very important role in the exchange of gases and also in the transpiration. So leaves are known as the kitchen or food factories of the plants because photosynthesis takes place in the leaves. So let us see briefly the structure of leaf, how it is related to photosynthesis. So leaf cross section, transverse section, it shows two surfaces, upper and lower epidermis. Upper epidermis is covered by cuticle, this red color portion, and beneath the cuticle, epidermis divided into two, upper and lower. In between this epidermis, the main tissue called mesophyll tissue. The mesophyll tissue is a parenchyma tissue. It is divided into two parts, upper palisade parenchyma, this is palisade parenchyma, and lower spongy parenchyma, this is spongy parenchyma. So, the internal structure of leaf is such that it can accommodate photosynthesis. So, as we discussed previously, what are the requirements for photosynthesis? Carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll. So chlorophyll is arranged like this in the palisade parenchyma. Sponge parenchyma also contains chlorophyll, but palisade parenchyma contain more number of chlorophyll in a structure called chloroplasts. These structures are called chloroplasts, which are green in color. And the leaf receives water by means of vascular bundles. So if you take a leaf, this leaf containing veins and veinlets here. These veins and veinlets consisting of these and midrib consisting of these vascular bundles, which contain xylem tissue and phloem tissue. They together form vascular bundles. And the upper epidermis doesn't have any holes called stomata. Of course, if they are present also very less in number, but lower surface of the leaf containing more openings called stomatal pores or stoma, which are guarded by kidney shaped cells called guard cells. And now come to palisade parenchyma. Here they are tightly arranged. More number of chloroplasts are present in palisade parenchyma. Sponge parenchyma, there are more intercellular spaces are there. These intercellular spaces can accommodate the gases which enter inside. The carbon dioxide which enter inside can be preserved in this and available for the leaf easily for the photosynthesis. So in order to undergo the photosynthesis, all these requirements are needed. So the structure of leaf is related to its main function, photosynthesis. Okay, let us actually this photosynthesis process is not so simple. So many scientists worked over it. Actually, the mechanism of photosynthesis was understood in the 20th century in detail. So let us have brief history. Children, if time allows you, please note down. First, the photosynthesis was discovered by Ingenhousz. The scientist name is Ingenhousz. In 1779, this Ingenhousz scientist, he He proposed that green plants absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen. Green plants absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen. Carbon dioxide used for photosynthesis and oxygen is the product. It was said by Ingenhouse in 1779. In 17th century, the research was started. And Van Helmont, another scientist who conducted experiments on willow tree. Willow tree. What he has done is he observed the weight of the plant before photosynthesis and after photosynthesis. So he observed some change, increase in the weight, means something is added. Means he also proposed that the photosynthesis takes place in that plant. Next, Joseph Priestley is another scientist. In 1772, he also proved that green plants purify air by adding oxygen. Green plants purify air by adding oxygen. Next, Jean Seniber, another scientist, in 1782, he proposed that carbon dioxide is absorbed during photosynthesis. So many scientists are there. Robert Mayer in 1845, he explained the role of sunlight as a source of energy. Okay. Robert Mayer in 1845 explained the role of sunlight as a source of energy. And Julius Sachs, he proposed in 1862, he proposed that starch is the direct produce or direct product of photosynthesis. Later in 20th century, Robert Hill, Melvin Kelvin, okay, all these scientists clearly explained the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is not so simple. It is a biochemical reaction, physiological process. So, in the further videos, we are going to discuss about the heterotrophic nutrition. In this next slide, heterotrophic nutrition. Some plants do not have chlorophyll, hence they cannot synthesize their food by themselves. Such plants are known as non-green plants. Non-green plants. They depend on other organisms for food. Such plants use the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Heterotrophic mode of nutrition are incapable of feeding themselves. These heterotrophic plants, they cannot feed themselves. Heterotrophic plants. They draw all or part of their nutrition from other living beings. This may occur with plants that are parasitic or saprophytic or symbiotic. Okay, like. So let us see this chart showing the heterotrophic nutrition in plants. Heterotrophic nutrition in plants is broadly divided into 4 main types. Parasitic nutrition, the plants are called parasitic plants, where host and parasite relationship we will understand. Saprophytes, these are the plants which depend on dead and decomposing organic matter, example fungi. Insectivorous plants, these are heterotrophic plants where they grow in the nitrogen deficient soils. For nitrogen fulfillment, they feed on insects, insectivorous plants. Then symbiotic plants, here the plant may depend on another living organisms. This is also a heterotrophic nutrition. 2 different organisms are involved. Okay, in all these 4 types of heterotrophic nutrition, one is the 2 different organisms are involved, where in this symbiotic nutrition both the organisms are benefited. Symbiotic association, symbionts they are called. Let us study in detail. Heterotrophic nutrition. First, parasitic nutrition. The parasitic nutrition is a mode of heterotrophic nutrition where organism is called parasite, which lives on the body or surface or inside the body of other organism, it is called host. Host and parasite. Here host is providing the nutrients, shelter, but parasite is harming the host. Okay, these parasites may be partial parasites or complete parasites. Complete parasites. So parasitic plants example, Cuscuta. These are the some scientific names. Mistletoe, Cuscuta. These are the two examples. The partial parasite is a parasite that receives a part of its nutrients from the host. Example here, another example is given, Viscum. The complete parasite, example Cuscuta, it depends on its host for nutrients. So here Cuscuta clearly given. Some plants, commonly this Cuscuta grows on the banyan tree or on neem tree also. Some plants known as parasites live on other plants called host. These plants or parasites obtain their food from the host. So they possess a special structures. They grow a special root-like structures into the stem of the host. They are called hastoria. With the help of that hastoria, they suck the nutrients from the host. The host plants do not get any benefit. Here parasite is only getting benefit. Example, Cuscuta, yellow color. It grows on the host and sometimes it may kill the host also. Next, the parasitic nutrition. Parasitic mode of nutrition. Cuscuta, it is also called amarbel. It is a yellow tubular plant twisting around the stem and branches of a tree that does not have chlorophyll and hence cannot make its food. So it is complete parasite. A Cuscuta we can consider as a complete stem parasite. These parasites are of two types: stem parasites, root parasites. Rafflesia. Next example, Rafflesia. Rafflesia is also a total parasite. It grows on the roots of the host plant. It lacks chlorophyll and its stem is thread-like. Penetrating the roots of the host plant and sucks the food. It's a very large flower. It bears the biggest flower in the world. It is considered as, it measures about 50 to 100 centimeter and weighs nearly 10 kg. It has a smell of rotten meat smell. Okay, here the Cuscuta is also mentioned here. It possesses yellow in color. It grows on the host. Let us proceed to next type of heterotrophic nutrition. Some microorganisms like fungi. Some microorganisms like fungi use another mode of nutrition known as saprotrophic mode of nutrition. Saprotrophic mode of nutrition. So here you see the fungi which grow on dead and decomposing organic matter. These organisms undergo the mode of nutrition known as saprotrophic. They are called saprophytes. In the saprotrophic mode of nutrition, what happens means, these fungi, also the fungal hyphae, it grows a mycelium. These mycelia-like structures will go into the host and it releases some hydrolytic enzymes where the digestion of food takes place. Then it absorbs that digested food material is absorbed. That's why it is called saprophyte. If it is animal, saprozoite. Saprophyte means plant. So these fungal spores, here another example is given, that is molds. The fungal spores are present in the air, grow as dark patches like this. dark patches here. Dark patches on the food items or other items like pickles, leather and cloths during hot, humid and rainy season. This is a favorable season for the growth of fungi. You might have seen the fungi growing on wood, wet wood, on bread, on chapati, on pickles. So these are all fungi molds they are called. So they are saprophytes. Next, after the completion of this, let us see the questions appeared from this topic. Those who are in live chat, please answer the questions. The first question, the food making process in plants is called as glycolysis, photosynthesis, photolysis, chemosynthesis. Come on, in plants is mentioned here. So here the two closely related, photosynthesis, chemosynthesis. Please answer the question. The food making process in plants is called. Okay, let us analyze the question. Glycolysis is not related to photosynthesis, it is related to respiration. Photosynthesis is a process by means of which plants prepare their food. A photolysis, it is also a part of photosynthesis. Chemosynthesis, these are chemoautotrophs. Okay, but here plants are mentioned, so the correct option is B. B is the correct answer for this question. Children, question understanding is very important. Twice you have to read the question, then you have to come to an idea. You have to analyze the options, then select. You can take 1 minute for each question. Which part of the plant is called its food factory? From the 3rd, 4th class or 5th class onwards, you are studying this. The food factory of the plant is, yes, leaf. Okay, fruits, seeds, flowers, they are allotted different functions. The function photosynthesis is carried by leaves, food synthesis. So they are called food factories. Next question. What is the ultimate source of energy for all living organisms in this ecosystem? What is the ultimate source of energy? All these are forms of energy only. Water energy, wind energy, solar energy, chemical energy. So as we are discussing about the nutrition part, photosynthesis, so here we have to consider, we have to think in that manner, in that sense. So what is the correct answer? Correct answer for this question? Solar energy. C is the correct answer. C is the correct answer. Next question. Green pigment present in the leaves is called. Green pigment present in the leaves is called hemoglobin, globulin, albumin, chlorophyll. So analyze the question. Hemoglobin is present in the blood. Globulin, albumin, they are also present in the blood. So the correct option here is chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the correct option. Next. The raw materials for photosynthesis are carbon dioxide, and water, carbon dioxide, oxygen and hydrogen, nitrogen and water, oxygen and water. Come on, please answer the live chat. Yes, A is the correct answer. What is the equation? 6CO2 plus 12H2O gives rise to C6H12O6 plus 6O2 plus 6H2O in the presence of light and chlorophyll. So the reactants here are carbon dioxide and water. Next, which one of the following is a parasite? Lichen, Cuscuta, pitcher plant, Rhizobium bacteria. So here the parasitic plants. In the discussion we come across lichen is an example of symbiotic nutrition where algae and fungi mutually associated. Cuscuta is a parasitic plant. Pitcher plant or Nepenthes, it is an insectivorous plant. Rhizobium bacteria, it is also one of the partner in the symbiotic nutrition in groundnut. So here the correct option is Cuscuta, parasitic plant. Which of the following class of organisms belongs to saprotroph? Fungi, algae, lichens, bryophytes. Come on. Here also your two options are closely related. One is fungi and second one is lichens. As soon as you read the question, immediately you have to select the closely related options. So fungi is a heterotroph which grows on dead and decomposing organisms, so possibility is there. Algae, it is an autotroph, there is no chance. Lichen, it is association, there is association between algae and fungi live together, but the fungi directly getting nutrients from the algae, so it need not to depend saprophytic nutrition. Okay, there is no necessity. Bryophytes are another group of plants, they undergo photosynthesis. So here the correct option is A. Next question, which one of the following is a parasite? Lichen, Cuscuta, pitcher plant, Rhizobium bacteria. Once again, here Cuscuta is a parasite. Which one of the following is a pair of symbiotic organisms? Symbiotic organisms. Symbiotic organisms. Lichen, Rhizobium and legume, Cuscuta, both A and B options. You know, lichens are association between algae and fungi, both are mutually benefited, so there is a possibility. Rhizobium and legume. Legume means groundnut plant or group of plants belongs to leguminaceae family. So they are also mutually associated. Here bacteria and plant. Here fungi and algae. Two different organisms, they are undergoing symbiotic association. So here Cuscuta is a parasite, not related to this question. So here the correct answer is D. Very good. Most of you are selecting right option. keep answering. A vine-like plant with yellowish stem and it get nutrition from banyan tree, which grows on banyan tree. Banyan tree as a host. Select the plant. Sundew plant. Sundew plant is a insectivorous plant. Pitcher plant is also insectivorous plant. Venus flytrap is also insectivorous plant. So here, dodder, it is also called cuscuta. It is the yellowish stemmed plant which grows on banyan tree and undergo which type of nutrition here? Parasitic nutrition. Next, what is the aim of given experiment here? See the experiment here. Here sunlight is there and a potted plant covered with a black paper and placed in the sunlight to show that air is a basic need for plants. To show that food is a basic need of plants. To show that water is a basic need of plant. To show that sunlight is the basic need of plant. So come on children. So this is one experiment. All photosynthesis reactions or the entire process of photosynthesis can be understood by means of experimentation. Like water is essential for photosynthesis. One experiment is there. Sunlight is essential for photosynthesis. One experiment. And starch is formed during photosynthesis. One experiment. So like that, every factor related to photosynthesis is studied with the help of experiment or with activities. Okay. So here, this particular experiment proves that. What is the answer selected by you? Okay. D. D is the correct option to show that sunlight is a basic need of photosynthesis. One experiment, variegated leaf experiment. The leaf which I have shown previously, this is a leaf. It is a money plant leaf. So this leaf, when it is detached in the evening time after photosynthesis and when it is conducted iodine test, what happens means the white patches region doesn't turn blue color because here pigment chlorophyll is not present, but the green portion of the leaf will turn into blue color. That shows the importance of chlorophyll in the photosynthesis. So another experiment you study, that is a hydrilla plant experiment. Okay. So that experiment is also very simple experiment which shows that in the water medium hydrilla plant is taken and all the experimental setup can be done and kept in the sunlight. So air bubbles are formed in that test tube. That air bubbles, when tested with a burning splinter, it glows, which indicates the gas released is oxygen. So in this way, in your regular textbook with activities, the concept is explained. So I hope you understood the concept here, and many more concepts we are going to learn in this